I'm Valerie Bridgeman, the founding president and CEO of WomanPreach Inc. WomanPreach is I got you call from God. It was an ambush. My godchildren and I talk about the God of the ambush, like you're walking along and then God grabs you. WomanPreach was born out of something I did with Dr. Emily Towns at the National Cathedral back in, I don't even remember the year, 2008, I think. And we did this gathering of African American women preachers to kind of help them think about their preaching. And at that meeting, someone said to me, "You need to do this all the time." And I said no. And Jamye Wooten, well, I don't know her married name, but she was Easton at the time, said, "I have some money. I really want you to do this again." And so she called us together, kind of talked us through what would be an organization. We didn't have a name. We didn't have anything. And we were sitting there kind of playing around, and we were talking about how people say, "Preach, woman, preach." And that's how the name came. Wow. Like it's WomanPreach from that. And we do nothing but help people work on their preaching skill. We don't talk about how you're going to get your salary, where you're going. We do nothing but work on preaching skills. One of our board members says, "Our goal. This isn't our official thing, but she says our goal is to stamp out bad preaching one preacher at a time." When we started, we thought we would just be doing African American women, and then we started getting calls from brothers, literally saying, "Look, we need to know how to think and preach from a womanist, feminist perspective around these texts. We need to know how to speak in a way that it speaks life in the life of women and children, the whole folk." And so that's how we added the component for men. And then we had several encounters with sisters who were like, "Nobody is helping us with our preaching around justice, around this issue. Can you do something for women who are not black?" And so Chloe's Circle came as a deliberate kind of way to gather women who were not of African descent, who wanted to work on their preaching from a justice lens.
You have an upcoming event come up in March at Vanderbilt. Tell us a little bit about what to expect.
What to expect at Vanderbilt, March 13th and 14th, we will be at Vanderbilt. This collaboration, so our highest value as an organization is we do nothing without collaboration. And early on, Dr. Dale Andrews, who's at Vandy and in a chair as a homiletics professor, said, "I want to support WomanPreach." So this collaboration, we go and he supports the Sophie's Table, which is the piece that we do for men and women. And it's men, women of all ethnic backgrounds. And we pick a theme around which we will work on sermons. So 2 years ago we worked on Not on My Watch, which was around sexual violence. This year we're going to actually talk about building community that is equitable and grace-filled and not hierarchical. So it's loving the whole folk, I think is the theme. I can't remember the themes right now. And so we'll gather on Friday afternoon. We do a piece with our artists in residence that is absolutely a part of the conference. It's not just spoken word. Jahaz Zainabu is amazing. She helps preachers break out of that kind of churchy, preacherly language so that they can actually engage the questions, right? So we do that on Friday. And Saturday, we spend all day Saturday actually working on sermons. We have breakfast with a wisdom table speaker. This year, it's the dean at Vandy School of Divinity School, which is Dr. Emily Towns. And so she'll talk about the ethics of preaching. I don't know what she'll talk about. We'll start out talking about that. And it's amazing. It's amazing to watch people engage a process that we do and in less than 24 hours say to us, my preaching has changed forever. Or to have somebody like a Tracy Blackman say to me, I would have never been able to stand up in Ferguson if I had not come to WomanPreach. I found my voice. So we find our work important because people are trying to find out how other phrases, how God sounds in your throat.
Well, we're here at Assembly with Proctor Conference. You're also on the board of Assembly with Proctor. Tell us why Assembly with Proctor is important.
Important to me because, well, first of all, I think the Assembly with Proctor Conference is important because it's, I think, the largest gathering of lay and clergy who are thinking critically about justice issues and trying to help people come up not just with rhetoric, but solutions. So for me, it's important because I like being with people who are thinking about these things. I like the work we do that is ritual. I like the work that we do that is worship. I like the work we do that is learning. And I like the work that we do that is networking, connecting people to one another. I had a student say to me in the hallway, all of my heroes are here. I was like, that's good. He was like, no, you don't understand. Alan Bosick actually sit down and talk to me. It's like the people that we think of us as justice workers, world-known, world-renowned people are not untouchable in this place. That's part of what I love about it. As long as I've known myself, I wouldn't have used this word at 5 or 6, but an empath. I feel other people. So I have deep compassion for people because of that. Because I can really feel their pain, their anxiety, their hopes, their excitement. Like sometimes the room is too much for me, you know? So over the years, I've had to learn the skills of healing that come in my prayer time. I learned ritual. My grandmother was a ritualist, and she wouldn't have used that word. That's what she was. So I learned to sort of hold that gift as sacred. The laying on of hands is a ritual of the church, right? So people ask me to pray, I do. I get well. I mean, you know, not all the time and not every time, but a lot of that work, wellness is psychic healing, you know. We are so torn emotionally and spiritually that our bodies and spirits are out of alignment. And sometimes what we need is somebody to help us pull it back in. That's the healing work. And people, your gifts, you know, people say your gift makes room for you. It's actually, in that text, it's actually talking about money, right? You know, you give your money, and that opens a door for you. But for me, I don't have a sign out on the door saying, healer for $5, you know, I don't do that. I just love people, and I want people to be well. I want to be well. The incident that you talked about with Starsky, he came in the room, we were gathering, and really I just was greeting him. I was like, hey, and I put my hands on him, my hands are warm, put my hands on him, and he started rocking. And then so I hugged him, and he collapsed into my arms. And so I prayed, like, well, we don't hold each other enough, and we don't hold each other long enough. So oftentimes people need a moment or 10 to really find themselves, ground themselves again. But we let them go real quick, right? So I think it's my ability to be comfortable to hold people as long as they need to be.
Well, I love you, and we love you. I thank you for all that you do.